Do you guys think the cost of living is significantly lower here in Dominican Republic? Stay tuned.
Are you ready?
Jerry and Sheila stay ready.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Jerry.
And Sheila.
And this is my wife, Sheila. And today we are here in Dominican Republic, San Domingo Este, coming to y'all saying, what's up, what's up, what's up? We back at it, doing what we do. And we've had a lot of questions when it comes to, the cost of living and how much stuff costs here. We've been doing our lives. If y'all don't know, now you know. Check it out, Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. But before we get started, I want to say a little throwback. This is my little throwback cup. Everybody know about that old red cup. Tell know about that red cup. Hey, I got a little leftover crown in here that I had to finish off. But this is what we used to use back in the day at the old picnics. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. The black folk picnics. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But here we go. Salud. All right, so did you guys know that the Dominican Republic is a popular destination for most tourists in 2024 and is set to be even higher this year? Yep, that's true. Based on research, that's what they're telling us. So what does that mean? A lot more people that want to visit as well as thinking about living here. So even on our lives, we've had questions about the cost of living. How much is your electricity? How much is your internet? So on and so forth. So we're gonna give y'all a few statistics that's going to help you out, and these are updated statistics too, so we're gonna try to help you out on that. All right, so before we get started on that, I'm gonna let y'all know, and some of y'all might know, about my personal journey and what caused me to come and live in the Dominican Republic. It's gonna be fast, quick, and in a hurry. What that means is I decided to move here because the cost of living where I was living at in Virginia was very high, and the apartment I was in, 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment, was $2,100, and it was just too much for me at the time. So if y'all want to know more information about that, we have videos on that. I will put the cover of the video on the screen, and y'all can go back and check it out whenever you get ready. So that's what caused me to want to live here in Dominican Republic. So, dos habitación, dos baños. ¿Cuánto dinero en Dominican Republic? Por ejemplo, let's say San Domingo Este.
Ajá, porque es lo que tú dices, estamos hablando de área. Mi primer apartamento tenía 2 habitaciones. Ahora, una era esta sala completa. Era demasiado grande. Con el balcón, vamos a poner a mi habitación. Mi habitación con su baño. La otra también era grande y tenía una más pequeña. O sea, cuando yo los conocí a él, una más pequeña que era la de servicio. Pero ese yo no lo usaba como habitación, sino que el niño tenía su juego ahí. Para jugar a PlayStation, él lo hacía ahí. Y yo pagaba 22,000.
Roughly about $400 for an apartment. So you can see if you do the math. And her apartment was in a gated community, it had security. At the entrance, you gotta have a card to get in, card to get out. So it was very secure. So with that being said, now we're going to talk about the different things that people have been asking about when it comes to what should we be thinking about when we decide to come and live in the Dominican Republic. A few things that you need to consider when deciding you want to move to the Dominican Republic are the rent, utilities, food and groceries, transportation, healthcare, and entertainment and leisure. All right, so as we talked about before, and a lot of people ask us that question about, well, can you give me some information? And I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again because we're talking about cost of living. Can you give me some information about a realtor in Dominican Republic? When I tell them, we can't just give out everybody's information, and then a lot of people call them, but they don't really know exactly where they wanna live at. The best thing to do is, if you haven't been here, come here. Put boots on ground. And if you have been here, okay, now you probably need to come back as more of the first time or the first few times you came, you probably came as a tourist. This time you need to come back as somebody who's thinking about buying an apartment or a condo or a house. Now you can say, okay, would I mind living here in this area? And so that way you have a better understanding, better idea of what you want to do.
Claro que sí, o sea, tú tienes que primero conocer el área y eso. Yo siempre digo evaluación de mercado. Busque su evaluación primero, chequee toda la área y después usted decide dónde va a comprar. Porque nosotros, baby, que es lo que tú dices, no podemos darle el número de teléfono que nosotros tenemos, que son agentes inmobiliarios. Y como que usted, no, que no aquí, que no aquí. Señores, esa gente tienen el tiempo limitado, tú sabes. Entonces, primero, haga su evaluación, diga qué área a usted le gusta y esa área ellos le van a buscar lo que usted quiera.
All right, next we're going to talk about the utilities. Now, the utilities, that also depends on how many people in your family, how much you use, do you have an air conditioner, how many air conditioners you have. Do you want to run your air conditioners all day? Or you can do like most people in the Dominican Republic who only run them at night. We run our air conditioner, we're mostly running it all day. And so your bill might be a little bit higher. So we can give y'all an example, ballpark figure or whatever, but y'all gotta keep those costs in mind. And I'm gonna also add, you wanna keep in mind the garbage as well as the water into that, and the security, which is a part of your electricity, in my opinion. You can add that in that, because we pay our electricity bills separate, but there's also a fee, as we talked about before, where you still gotta pay for your gas, which is your propane for your stove. And for us, our dryer, we have propane for that. So that's an expense. You also have to pay for water, which is included with the security and supposed to be the cleaning of the stairs and whatnot. But they don't do a good job. But that ain't,
pero es otro tema.
that's just something different. Blah, blah, blah. But so y'all got to keep those costs in mind too. You want to add to that?
A Manuel, si ve este video, por favor, Manuel, pierde calidad. Manuel no te va a escuchar. Ellos no conocen a Manuel.
See, she putting that man on blast. She just dry snitching like a mug. She dry snitching like a mug. I wasn't gonna say people's name. Good gracious. But anyway.
No, pero no. Yo no soy soplona, es la verdad. Manuel, si tú ves ese video, limpia la escalera, por el amor a Cristo.
And another cost that you got to consider is the internet. We have our internet cable and phone together, the little triple bundle play or whatever, and we also got our Airbnb that has a double play. The cable's okay, it's not bad. I get like about 5 or 6 American channels, ABC, CBS, NBC, ESPN, stuff like that, and they get all the other channels. And I think we roughly pay about like $60 for one apartment. All right, next we're gonna talk about the food and groceries. My wife talked a little bit about groceries earlier. You're gonna spend money on food. We just went to Price Mart the other day. We spent $600. We told y'all this before. Yes, $600, you heard me. $600 we spent, but that should last us for the big stuff. And that depends too if you're gonna eat out, if you're gonna go to restaurants, or if you're gonna have food delivered. That's an extra cost. So we already talked about the Price Smart thing. And then of course you're gonna go back to the groceries for your produces that don't last long. So that's pretty much gonna be our cost. And I say, if I had to guess, you can get away with one person on average about $200 some odd per month on groceries every month. I say you could probably get away with it. I ain't saying it's you can get.
Señores, la vida aquí no es fácil. Un mes, $200. ¿Para una persona?
If you cook it in your house, if you cook it in your house, and listen, a separate cost. Okay, now you want to eat out. You want to go to a restaurant. You want to eat McDonald's, Burger King.
Dices,
now that's extra money. Right, I'm just talking about cocina todos los días.
Si no cocina todos los días.
Right.
Si no.
Right. If you do, then it's gonna be más dinero. If you go outside, do all that stuff.
Ay. Ustedes no saben cuánto dinero en un mes una sola persona. Hay mucho de $200 es basura. Y dándole un consejo a ustedes, como lo que nosotros vamos a hacer. Yo estoy poniéndole la idea a mi esposo. Estamos ahí, yo te sabe tratando. Lo mejor en la vida, tener su casa aquí. ¿Verdad? Tener su casa aquí. Si usted ya decide vivir en Dominicana, tener su casa en la capital, señores, y tener una tierra en el campo. Usted tiene una tierra, pues usted sembra plátano, yuca, batata, guineo, todo lo que usted quiera, ponerlo en el campo, señores, y ir de fin de semana a buscar su producto al campo, fresquecito y de usted. Señores, eso es lo mejor, eso es vida. Para mí eso es vida. Tener separado tu gallina, tu cerdo, tus animales ahí. Usted trae todo fresco.
All right, now we're moving on to transportation. Transportation, you can either buy a car, you can ship your car, you can, it's a lot of different options. Those things you got to look into and figure out what you want to do for yourself, what's best for you and your family. Transportation, when I say, if you don't have a car, you can always use an Uber or all the other apps that they have here, or they have a bus, they got the local taxis. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is healthcare. A lot of people can get healthcare here. My wife is going to give y'all some of the names of the healthcare companies, and you can look into that. and figure out what's best for you.
Señores, pero muchísimo. Hay humano es buenísimo. Hay el seguro Senasa, señores, el privado es buenísimo, buenísimo, se lo recomiendo. Hay muchísimos seguros, hay Pali, hay Futuro es malísimo, pero hay Futuro. Y hay muchísimo más. Pero les recomiendo dos.
Go ahead, there you go.
Si usted tiene dinero, páguelo. Humano y Senasa.
¿Cuánto roundabout for maybe 4 personas?
Bueno,
for a familia.
Es que se paga
Estimate.
trimestral o se paga cada 6 meses, como usted quiera. Trimestral, que son cada 3 meses, tú pagas 37,000 pesos. De 37 a 40,000 pesos cada 3 meses. Pero usted sabe, es full. Su boca, su cuerpo, todo. Usted va a pagar un deducible lo más mínimo. Tiene cobertura, señores, que cuando usted se interna y usted sabe que está incluido su habitación privada. O sea, hay muchísimas cosas.
So it's possible, and then of course, if you're somebody like myself who has military health care, you just do TRICARE overseas, and once you sign up for that, then you pay up front, and then you get reimbursed later minus the deductible. All right, and the last thing we want to talk about is entertainment and leisure. So basically, partying, hanging out, clubbing, doing what you do. Maybe going and jet skiing in the water, spending extra money, going on a boat trip, or whatever. All of these different things will set you up for success if you plan and make sure that you are prepared for these things and you budget for them. And you'll be straight. If you have any other questions, go ahead and get at us. I'm here to tell y'all these prices and things that we've given y'all are estimates. It depends on the area, it depends on where you want to live, and it depends on your lifestyle.
¿Con cuántas personas usted viene a vivir en Dominicana? Señores, para usted vivir aquí en Dominicana, primero tienen que entrar a nuestro sitio web y obtener uno de nuestros productos. Señores, ustedes saben que nuestro vaso térmico es sumamente bueno. Muchas personas lo han querido free, pero otras personas tienen que ayudarnos, señores, y entren al link, que no se van a arrepentir. Saben que tienen su jury para cuando ustedes vayan a viajar a Estados Unidos. Ustedes también que tienen su vaso para que usted ande ahí, eche lo que usted quiera aquí. Por favor, entren, que
they told us
le van a
they wanted to
gustar.
buy, but they really didn't. But we set it up so they're good. We still doing what we do. We still making it happen. Y'all just helped us look more professional to the people that didn't think we was legit, and we are legit. So we appreciate that. If y'all don't want to do what y'all do, then do what y'all do. It's okay.
Es ok, pero muy bueno que cuando usted venga aquí a Dominicana y tenga un t-shirt de Jerry and Sheila Island Living, es bueno, señores, miren, lo van a reconocer, le van a dar descuento.
All right, y'all. So we appreciate it. Keep watching our videos. If you got experiences when it comes to moving to Dominican Republic, or if you got, you can share your experiences in the comments below. If you to help other people, maybe you had a couple situations, or maybe you got some tips and tricks that can help people navigate this situation a little bit easier and smoother. One thing we also didn't talk about was the banks, and we talked about that in the other video, but get your bank account as well. And if you made it to the end of the video, you heard that part. All right? So keep it easy, keep it breezy, and we out.